Let's think together a little bit about social presence. First of all, what do we mean by social presence? Well, here's one way that you could frame it as a question. How do we, in an online class, establish ourselves, both instructors and students, as individuals and build interpersonal relationships that can have a positive impact on engagement in learning activities? So really what we're talking about here is how do you as a teacher teach in an online class, or how do you as a student relate to your instructor, relate to your peers in an online class? Are there ways that you can develop a sense of self, a sense of who you are in an online class? And I think that there are, but we need to maybe think together a little bit about what this looks like. And so I want to set this up as a continuum. And on this side over here, let's think about a face-to-face course, a traditionally taught face-to-face course, which has a lot of social presence because you're actually live and in person and you're actually there. On this side of things, let's think about a traditional correspondence course. And in a correspondence course, you might not ever have any social presence in as far as interaction goes between you and your teacher or between you and your students, depending on your role in the course. You're just reading things that your instructor sends to you, and then you're sending back your papers and your assignments in response. And so between these two, there is room, and there's kind of a continuum, maybe you could think of it, between these two. If we were going to think about in online courses, some of the aspects, some of the tools, some of the ways of engaging you might choose to use, there's a variety of things. And so maybe way over here towards the correspondence course side of things, we could think about discussion boards. Discussion boards probably have relatively low social presence. They allow you to interact with your peers and with your instructor, but they aren't there's not a lot of necessarily you showing who you are. Okay. On the far other side, way on the face-to-face side of things, maybe here's where we would have like a video chat, like Skype or Google Hangout or a Zoom meeting or something like that. There's a lot of social presence there. Is it the same as face-to-face? Well, it's pretty close. It's pretty good because you can actually see and hear this person in real time as you're interacting with each other. Okay. In the middle here, there are other things, right? Like if I have video recordings that I have created either for myself as an instructor or for my students, that video has pretty good social presence. It's not as much as the actual interactive video chat, but my students can see and hear me interacting with them. They get a sense of my quirks and my personality as I do that. Okay. Audio maybe is probably here as well. Audio, maybe not quite as much social presence as video because they can't see me, but they can hear me. They can hear my inflection. They can get a sense that I'm a real person speaking to them, telling them this on the other side. Even things like photographs. Adding photos can be a good way to increase social presence. On a discussion board, for instance, just adding photos along with the comments that people are making might move the social presence more towards the more highly interactive side of things. Okay, so just the takeaway for this, remember that there's a range of different approaches you can take in an online class, and the tools that you choose can increase or decrease your social presence and the social presence of your students as well.